Every single day, humans eat an estimated 5 billion pizzas. It is arguably the world's most universal comfort food. But if you went back to 18th century Italy and offered a wealthy aristocrat a slice, they would have looked at you with utter disgust. For centuries, pizza wasn't a delicacy. It was considered a dangerous, trash-tier food meant only for the poorest citizens who couldn't even afford plates. To find the birth of modern pizza, we have to go to the overcrowded slums of Naples in the 1700s. The city was booming with working-class poor who needed something cheap, fast, and portable to eat while on the job. Street vendors took basic flatbreads and topped them with whatever was cheapest: lard, salt, garlic, and eventually, a strange, feared fruit newly brought over from the Americas, the tomato. For a long time, Europeans thought tomatoes were poisonous, but the starving workers of Naples didn't care. They ate it anyway, and it tasted incredible. For over 100 years, pizza stayed locked away in the slums, completely ignored by polite society. Wealthy travelers visiting Naples would write letters home describing this bizarre street, bred as disgusting, smelly, and a symptom of extreme poverty. But that elitist attitude was about to change forever because of a royal PR stunt. In the summer of 1889, King Umberto I and Queen Margherita of Savoy visited Naples. The Italian monarchy was relatively new and unpopular at the time, so the royal couple was traveling the country to win over the hearts of the public. While staying at the Capodimonte Palace, the Queen grew incredibly bored of the fancy, overly complicated French cuisine that royal chefs served every single day. She had heard rumors about a legendary local street food that the common people were obsessed with, and she demanded to try it. The royal chefs were horrified, but they had to obey. They summoned the most famous pizza maker in Naples, a man named Raffaele Esposito, along with his wife, Maria Giovanna Brandi. The pressure was immense. Serving peasant food to the Queen of Italy was either going to be a career-defining triumph or a historic disaster. Esposito brought his own portable wood-fired oven up to the palace gates and prepared 3 distinct pizzas for the Queen. The first was a traditional mastunicola, topped simply with lard, cheese, and basil. The second was a marinara, loaded with tomato, garlic, and oregano. But it was the third pizza that changed history. Esposito wanted to create something special that paid tribute to the newly unified Italy. He topped a flatbread with bright red tomato sauce, melted white mozzarella cheese, and fresh green basil leaves, perfectly mimicking the colors of the Italian flag. When Queen Margherita took a bite, she fell completely in love with it. She was so impressed that she had her palace chamberlain write an official thank you letter to Esposito, praising his creation. Seizing the ultimate marketing opportunity, Esposito immediately named that specific style of pizza after her, the Margherita. The news spread like wildfire through the streets of Naples. If the Queen of Italy ate pizza, it was no longer a dangerous food for the poor. It was a patriotic culinary masterpiece. Almost overnight, high society aristocrats who used to turn their noses up at pizza were lining up at street carts to eat it. The royal stamp of approval had saved pizza from obscurity and set the stage for it to leave Naples and conquer the rest of the world. Even with a royal stamp of approval, pizza was still largely a regional Italian secret. To truly conquer the globe, it needed a gateway to the rest of the world, and that gateway was the great wave of Italian immigration to the United States. Between 1880 and 1920, millions of Southern Italians packed their bags and boarded ships bound for America, bringing their treasured family recipes with them. They settled in dense, working-class neighborhoods in cities like New York, Boston, and Chicago. In 1905, a grocery store clerk named Gennaro Lombardi noticed that Italian factory workers in Manhattan's Little Italy wanted a quick, cheap lunch just like the laborers back in Naples. He obtained the first official license to sell pizza in America, opening Lombardi's on Spring Street. But there was a problem. New York didn't have the wood-fired brick ovens of Naples. Instead, early bakers had to adapt to massive, coal-fired bakery ovens. The intense, dry heat of American coal changed the dough entirely. It created a crust that was crispier and sturdier, which allowed bakeries to make much larger pies. Because these pizzas were too big and expensive for a single worker to buy for lunch, pizzerias started cutting them into triangular wedges and selling them by the slice for just a few cents. And just like that, the iconic, foldable New York slice was born. Despite its popularity in immigrant neighborhoods, most everyday Americans still had no idea what pizza was. That all changed in 1945. During World War, hundreds of thousands of Allied soldiers were stationed in Italy. While marching through the countryside, American troops discovered local pizzerias and became absolutely obsessed. When the war ended and the soldiers returned home, they brought a massive, nationwide craving back with them. Suddenly, pizza exploded out of the immigrant enclaves and into mainstream pop culture. Veterans opened pizzerias in the American suburbs, and because the United States had access to industrial manufacturing and massive amounts of cheap meat and dairy, the simple Italian flatbread began to rapidly mutate. In 1943, a couple of entrepreneurs in Illinois opened Pizzeria Uno, inventing Chicago deep dish, a pizza baked in a deep cake pan with a buttery, biscuit-like crust, loaded with pounds of cheese and topped with a heavy layer of chunky tomato sauce. In Detroit, blue-collar workers in the 1940s took rectangular blue steel pans, originally meant to hold automotive parts on assembly lines, and used them to bake pizza. This created Detroit-style pizza, famous for its thick, airy dough and a caramelized cheesy crust that forms where the cheese hits the hot steel pan. And of course, the evolution went beyond American borders. In 1962, a Greek immigrant named Sam Panopoulos, running a diner in Ontario, Canada, decided to toss canned pineapple and ham onto a pizza just to see what the sweet and savory contrast tasted like. He named it Hawaiian, simply after the brand of canned pineapple he used, sparking a culinary debate that still rages across the internet today. Within a single generation, American ingenuity, post-war nostalgia, and global migration had transformed a humble Neapolitan street food into a multi-billion-dollar global phenomenon. Today, pizza is a battleground of styles. On one side, you have the purists who love true Neapolitan pizza, which is now legally protected by Italian law and must be baked in a 900-degree wood-fired oven for less than 90 seconds. On the other side, you have crowd favorites like pepperoni, which is a purely American creation. And then there are modern cult hits like Detroit-style pizza, baked in heavy rectangular steel pans that give it a uniquely thick, caramelized cheese crust. From the slums of Naples to a multi-billion-dollar global phenomenon, pizza has cemented its place as the ultimate gastro hit. What is your absolute favorite style of pizza, and does pineapple belong on it? Drop a comment below, hit subscribe, and we'll see you on the next delicious slice of history.